Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. Today we're doing it a bit different. I want to do a little experiment today with the Steam Deck because a lot of people are buying the Steam Deck nowadays and it's an amazing device. However, some people feel, maybe like me, that the 512 gig variant that I have is maybe a bit too small. Now you could open up the Steam Deck and install a 1 terabyte SSD, for instance, but some people just don't feel that comfortable opening up their expensive device. I mean, it's still, for the OLED variant, around $550, so it's quite a lot of money. So today we're going to test out what the differences are between internal storage on the Steam Deck and a microSD card. I've prepared 3 games for today: Hades, Spider-Man Remastered, and Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun. So I have prepared a timer, and right now Spider-Man Remastered is installed on the internal SSD. So we'll just start them both at the same time, and let's see how long it will take to get the game fully loaded. So it took us approximately 38 seconds to boot into the game of Spider-Man. And if we just grab the Steam Deck and let's just, swing a bit around. Right now I'm just on the stock setting, so I believe that's 720p or 800p on the medium preset. And we're hovering around 30 FPS. Alright, let's boot up Hades 2 from the SSD. And it took us around 20 seconds to get into the game Hades. If we look at the performance overlay, it's at a locked 60. This game can run on 90, but if I let it loose on 90, my camera will flicker. But it's a good indication knowing that it's just a locked 60 FPS. And even while fighting, even while a bit of stuff is happening, it is still at a locked dead on 60 FPS. And the last game that I want to try with you guys is Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun. And again, around 28 seconds. Right now it's still on 21.9 because I was just focusing on the game. But right now, 28 seconds approximately to boot into this game. This game does have some performance issues on the Steam Deck though. It runs fine, especially when we lock down to 60 FPS, but it has some occasional drops under 60 FPS, even if we are playing from the SSD. Honestly, I'm just interested to see also if there is a performance difference. I'm pretty sure that there will be a difference in load time, but if there is a performance difference, that should be the most interesting. I think also for people who just don't want to open their deck, that will be the deciding factor if you need to plug in an SSD or just can plug in an SD card. I've loaded up the same 3 games on this SD card. So what we're gonna do right now is we are going to uninstall these games. Here, uninstall, and we'll do that for Hades as well and Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun. Well, everything should be uninstalled or plug in our SD card. And I'm quite interested. Yes, the SD card is recognized because everything says play right now. And let's start out with Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun from the SD card. Honestly, it seemed to be faster than the internal SSD. That's actually kind of crazy. Okay, I definitely did not expect that. As you could have seen, the frame rate was dipping, but it's not like below everything else we just had, so it's pretty good. It's a really good experience. And let's start Hades from the SD card. 1 minute 23, so that's actually way longer than the internal SSD, and this is more in the realm of what I would expect from an SD card. Honestly, back in the game though, we are locked at a 60 FPS again because otherwise my camera will flicker. It's pretty good. Hades on an SD card, a total win. But again, looking back at the load times, 1 minute and 23 seconds to get into the game is quite long. Now let's fire up Spider-Man Remastered from the SD card. And this is where I expect it will take quite some time. 1 minute and 20 seconds. So again, that's way longer than you would expect from the internal SSD. However, remember, we haven't opened the deck whatsoever, and we have added a terabyte of storage. Performance seems to be the same, around 30 to 40 FPS. Honestly, if you would ask me, I would be totally fine with just inserting an SD card instead of an SSD. So today we've tried out 3 games on the SSD and on the SD card, and honestly, if you just bought a Steam Deck on the last sale or you just got a Steam Deck OLED and you want more storage but you're afraid of opening up your device, I personally do think that just plugging in an SD card would be more than sufficient. If there are any other things you would love to know from the Steam Deck, drop it down in the comments below and I'll try to help you guys out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.